Okay, so for those of you that are on Snapchat, I mentioned that, for those of you that follow on Snapchat, I mentioned that I would be doing a live stream. What's up, Tommy? The other day, and I didn't do it, but it's whatever. Last night I needed to get to sleep somewhat early, and I didn't really go to sleep early. It was kind of like only an hour early. Um, but whatever. I decided not to do it anyway. What's up, man? The main reason why I'm doing this live stream real quick is how you doing? Is because I just switched over. I switched back to iPhone. I don't know for those guys who've been around and watched me regularly. I've complained about going to the cheap Android was a fucking bad move. What's up, Malcolm? Dylan. So anyway, I'm back to it seems like I've gone Apple Android, Apple Android, Apple Android, and every time I go to Android, for whatever reason, I quickly remember why I fuck with Apple, and it's just because I'm a cheap bastard. I don't want to spend big money on buying cell phones. The idea of spending $500-600 on buying a phone is just like it's fucking. I'm not doing it. So I tend to shop cheap, which means I'm always a few generations behind. And the problem is being a few generations behind. If you're gonna go Android, they're still really expensive as opposed to Apple, where you can still get, their old shit at a decent price. Caesar's Palace. What's up, man? How you doing, Chuck? So anyway, and I figured, I've been randomly lucky sometimes of having late night conversations because this is the time that I would normally film a video. Normally, or usually, I'm usually film around this time anyway. So I figured, fuck it, I'm gonna do a live stream around this time. And if I don't catch anybody, that doesn't really matter. And if you guys watch or don't watch, well, I realize who watches and don't watch is because I get fucking questions that are redundant. It's fine, Chuck, man. And for me, anyway, you're not a bother, bro. You don't really ask me stupid shit, so. Anyway, I've got a lot of things that are just like kind of random stuff to talk about that I can talk about, and I'm gonna try and keep it short. I don't want to go over 20 minutes, just that way I give a chance for people to watch because there are some things I want to talk about that for new people especially. God only knows how long it's been since the last time I did a live stream. I think it's been like 1,000 subscriber difference, something like around that. And I can tell because there's new peoples in my DMs that are asking shit that I've the way I addressed it before. And one of the things is also one guy is just patience in general, like patience. If you hit the DMs and you're asking me something, don't expect me to reply right away, especially if you got a lot of shit to talk about. I my schedule is full as fuck. I've talked about it several times, what I do during my day. I'll talk about it again here real quick just to give you guys an idea. I wake up. First thing I do, wake up, roll out of bed, hit the fucking toilet. Whether I got a shit or not, I'm in the bathroom for a little while because I like to have the blood flowing with me in a somewhat upright position. After that, I hit my fucking treadmill for a half an hour. And then a shower, usually, last minute, eat, and then to work. So if you guys are hitting me in that window, definitely not going to get a response. And then when I'm at work, of course, I'm busy for the first couple hours I'm there. And then I have my first break. And I have a break, and then usually I'm trying to just cool off from the first shock of being at work, and I don't want to talk to anybody. So I don't check DMs in the 30 minutes I got. And then later on we have a lunch because we got a 30-minute on the clock break and we get a 30-minute lunch. Thank you, Ryder. So when I'm on lunch, then it's usually I'm watching fucking the news. If you were all following me on Facebook, you see I shared the Philip DeFranco thing. That's usually my Philly D time. His shows run anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes, so I don't answer DMs. Every once in a while, I answer a DM right away. It's not very often. A lot of times, I deliberately hold back, even if I have the time to answer the question, because I don't want to give people, when somebody hits you up for the first time, the very first time, and they see a quick response, they're like, "Holy fuck!" and then they do it again and again and again and again. So I tend to make people wait for a response from me just because of the fact that I don't want to get people into the habit. It's a dependency problem. It's a dependency problem that creates laziness, and you guys know that have been here long term. I fucking hate that. Don't be lazy. I've got hundreds of videos on there. I know it may seem like a pain in the ass, but if you follow my shit properly, it's not. It's not that hard. Plus, I've talked about a million times how it's easy to find videos on the channel. If you want to find something specific for me, VHP engines in the search bar, and then whatever the fuck your question is, and a lot of times it'll pop up because of course I tag my videos. So if you got it anywhere remotely close to what you're looking for, a lot of times you're gonna pull it up. And then there's plenty of things that people ask me on that I am the only person on YouTube who talks about. So it's not even like it's that hard to find me. A lot of people find me because when they search on YouTube, I'm the only person talking about it. It's even frustrating for me to go and I'm looking for information on something and I find only my fucking videos. It's frustrating sometimes. All right, man. Take care. Talk to you later. So yeah, so if you're hitting the DMs, don't fucking send me 30 fucking messages and be like, hello, hello, because that's mad annoying, and I'm definitely gonna ignore you at that point, you know. Just give me some fucking time, dude. I mean, my channel's not enormous, but I still have a decent amount of people hit me up, and a lot of times you guys like coordinate across the world to hit me at the same time. My DMs will be silent for a day or two, and then all of a sudden I'll have 4 back to back, and it's not just like one simple thing. It's a whole bunch of shit that you list off. I was actually rude to somebody the other day who's a potential engine buyer, and it's just like I've said a bunch of times about that too. Is like I don't usually have patience for people who are asking me questions about buying stuff or doing work for me because you guys don't follow through with it, and that's fine because I'm not here to make money off of you. But it's just like, why the fuck do I want to take my time to try and detail and lay out for you, reassure you that the engine I'm selling is good and all this stuff, and tell you that I got your back and warranty and all that shit? I am lagging out. Ah, fuck's sake. Alright, yeah, my bad. Sorry about that. Luckily for me, YouTube was able to let me come back in. But anyway, you know, the same random spill that I've gone through a bunch of times where people come to me and they ask me all these questions about buying or want me to detail engine information to them, and you can always tell when you're talking to people who don't know what they're talking about or don't know anything, and then they want you to convince them that you know what you're talking about, and I just don't have patience for that. Think about it, man. I'm not a car salesman, right? If you go into a dealership, the car salesman's job is to sell you on whatever fucking car they're trying to get you. Like, oh well, this and that, and I don't have time for that. Imagine that I'm Walmart and then you're going in and you're walking up and down the aisles and you see a TV. You can't haggle with Walmart. You're not gonna be able. I mean, I guess if you know some customers you gotta have a guy you maybe talk to you real. You gotta have a guy you maybe talk to you real quick. Somebody if you catch somebody random walking by, but it's not something you expect. Maybe I should generalize a little bit more like shampoo. Like you're not gonna have a guy that's gonna come out and detail the shampoo, how good it is, how great it is, and why you should buy it and all that shit. You just either buy it or you don't. And that's how I feel about my shit. You either trust that I know what I'm doing and you buy it from me, or you don't. And so I would much prefer. It's like if you're gonna buy, I'm thinking for buying from you. Great, you're either gonna buy or you don't. You come to me. This is what I have available for sale. Do you want to buy it or not? Now, if you want to ask me questions like, well, how much power do you think I can throw at this, or you know, like what'd you build with it or whatever, then I understand that. But ask me 50 million questions that turn out to be real basic. It's just frustrating. And that, of course, you know, like I bounce off the energy. Like if I have, you know, if I get frustrated from some of the basic ass questions, and I'm gonna come off as a rude person, and I hate doing that. So that's why I'd just rather not have discussions like that at all, to be honest. So there's that I wanted to rant on and talk about again, you know, because there's been a whole bunch of that. Also, I still occasionally from time to time get people ask me like, how do I contact you? Well, if I have a specific topic, like you know, I have random blogs I do where I'm just talking about random shit sometimes, and if I do that, then I don't generally leave my links in the description, and I don't leave my social media like that. I don't even tag it. I don't put keywords, nothing. It's just for you guys that are subscribers, just for you guys. It's not something that I put out there for the world to come and watch. You know, me talking about an engine for 10 or 15 minutes that I'm working on at the time. I'm not trying to pull in new audience members with that. That's just for the existing audience. All right. Now, if I'm sitting down like the other day, I had the humble performance talk where you know where I actually had sat down, had an in-depth conversation. Then yes, I put all my links, social media links, in the description. So look in the description of every video that you watch. My social media links are there, including the fucking PayPal for those of you that are seriously considering buying something off of me. And then, and the other thing is too, if you go to the main page of EHP Engines, all my social media links are in the description on the page banner. So there's no reason in the world where you can't figure out how to contact me. It's just crazy. And then like so not to throw shade at the guy, I don't even remember the guy's name. I just know that at one point in time today I got a message on YouTube, not a message but a comment on one of the YouTube videos. How do I contact you for you know, possible work? So I'm like, already I don't want to talk to you because it's possible. Like, no, come to me when you know you want something, because I'm tired of 99.9% of the people coming for long conversations that don't buy. You're not paying me for my time to talk to you, and I don't want you to pay me for my time. I just don't want you to bother me if you're not ready to do something. And then I was like, well, let natural selection take its course. Like, if you can't figure out how to DM me on social media, I mean, in the age of Google, then I don't want to talk to you. I mean, besides the fact, let's say, just assume that I have a social media presence outside of YouTube, and then if you go to Google and you search VHP engines, everything VHP engine related is going to pop up, and I assure you that I dominate that search. I'm doing this for a couple years now. Like, I've got a lot of stuff out there. I got a decent following on YouTube. On YouTube, I got a decent following on Facebook, decent following on Instagram. Although it's still not where I'd like it to be. And and Snapchat and all that stuff. My Snapchat has gotten so big now to the point where, I mean, of course, you don't see your actual numbers on Snapchat. All I see is when I scroll through stories, and when I scroll through stories nowadays, it's a lot of you guys. So don't feel bad if you never see me pop up in your timeline or whatnot. Plus that, and I'm guilty of it too, man. I have more than just fucking. I'm sorry, I get distracted here. Fucking, was it? I've more than just YouTube following on Snapchat. And of course, it's mixing in with my personal shit too. So I throw shit up there every once in a while that that I care. I guess you guys don't fucking care to see or whatnot. So it's the same thing from my audience too, from like the people who follow me. I go through and there's a lot of selfies or whatnot. I mean, of course, I'm there to hop in for the car shit, and even then, like, there's some stuff that I see from car world, but it's different when you have 20 different stories to look at compared to when you have like fucking 60 or 80 of them. It's just a lot. So I don't tend to pay attention too much to other people on there. It's mainly just to put stuff out. And I'm not even that most active there. Like I said, like I've said before, the most active I am for keeping up with news is Facebook, and then I guess Instagram too. Let's see if there's anything else I can talk about. Oh yeah, Honda Day is a couple weeks out. Maybe a couple weeks, 3 weeks. Let's see the old calendar. Yeah, 3 weeks and 2 days. So for the New Hampshire people, I'm gonna be up there in that area. Yeah, Instagram and Facebook tends to be the place where people hit me up the most. Facebook sometimes gets lost, because Facebook's retarded. They make you download all these fucking side apps to use Facebook. Like, you get Facebook, and then you got a fucking separate app for the Messenger, and then you got a separate app for all the for your fucking messages and shit on the Page Manager. But then I get double tap from Page Manager. I get I get notifications through regular Facebook sometimes, and then sometimes through the Page Manager, and then sometimes I'll try to open the Page Manager and it goes to regular Facebook. So it's just weird. And then that's why people tend to build up in the DMs over there before I just pick a day when I'm sitting around doing nothing, which is usually sometimes late at night like this, where I'll go through and then I'll start answering questions. Some of you guys, what's up, man? Some of the people recently that have hit me up, like, I've seen they've dumped a lot of stuff in the info there, so that's why I'm waiting on that, because I don't feel like going through all that. Plus, I kind of like, well, of course, when you get the original message notification, you can see the highlight of what it is they're talking about, and most of the stuff is stuff that can be answered if you just search through videos on the channel. A lot of stuff is. Most of you guys at this point are not coming at me with anything new. Oh, okay, yeah, I guess that's another thing I could talk about. The other day, well, I finally figured out how to better manage the page. Now, fortunately for me, and I can say, and I'm happy for this, over the couple of years that I've been open to this, I haven't really had. Okay, well, Mike, you can always hit me up, man. You got my direct contact information, so that's why I believe that you're lying. You're bullshitting, Mike. Was it? I haven't had a lot of problems on Facebook. There's only been one guy that's like a standout issue. One guy that was a standout issue for me for a long time is some weird old guy whose name shall not be uttered, and he kept popping up like from time to time on Facebook just to talk shit. I'm like, dude, like I don't understand. Like, clearly at this point, you're only stalking to hate. Like, you're only here watching me waiting to fail. Now, I'm not gonna lie. There's been times with people in my life who I've really wanted I've wanted to fuck up, like, or wanted to see fuck up, just because get the enjoyment of watching the people fall on their face sometimes, because sometimes people are assholes and they deserve that shit. So there's been, but I don't stick around. I don't like watch their feeds on a daily waiting for something to happen, man. I usually will hear it indirectly. Like somebody else will tell me and then I'll find out that way. So for this guy to deliberately be following my page and to deliberately follow me on YouTube, waiting for something bad to happen, is just like, wow, like I don't have time to watch the channels I enjoy watching sometimes. Like, so I couldn't imagine watching somebody that I don't like, waiting for them just because I'm waiting for some bad shit to happen. And I mean, like, the way I see it with me particularly, like, nobody's got hooks and strings in me, right? Now, okay, look, here, I'm like, as far as a kiss ass goes, now, I know that sometimes I look like a dick rider, and I've even called myself a dick rider sometimes, but here's me, right? If I appreciate and respect you, if you're somebody who's genuinely got my respect from you, like, I really respect what you're doing or whatnot, and I like you, then I'll go hard for you, man. Like, I don't need anybody to come to me with rewards or anything like that, or offer me anything for me to go hard for that person, because I respect what they do. Now, there's been times in my life, especially when I was in the Army, where I know if I just, kiss this guy's ass a little bit, make him feel better about himself, then I can get ahead of what I want. I can't do that. I have to like you for me to get ahead, like for me to do that kind of shit. So I'm never fake when I'm riding on somebody. It's not fake for me, man. And it's because I respect them. So like, fuck, man. Goddamn messages got me fucked up. I'm looking at comments and not thinking about what, I'll lose my train of thought. But, yeah, so anyway, it's a genuine thing for me, like, when I'm going hard for people like that, man. And I know what I'm saying is nobody's got their hooks in me, right? That's what it was. I'm not anybody's puppet. I'm not worried about what I say that's going to affect, like, if somebody decides, hey, we can't fuck with Chris because he's got a big mouth and he's just, whatever, I understand. Now, if somebody I respect, they tell me they got to distance themselves from me because of how I am and how I present myself, then, I'm not going to lose that respect. The respect is still going to remain, and I would think it's going to suck that we couldn't, do any kind of, have any relations, but I'm not going to trip on it, and I can't change how I am, because I'm not going to misrepresent myself, and then, like, one day I lose it and flip out, and then, then there's a big scandal, and holy shit, Chris from VHP Engines, he turns out to be a psycho, and then everybody's bailing. I don't want it to be that way. I want to present myself the way I normally am all the time. So that way, when you decide to stay, you stay. Like, there's a lot of people who make the mistake of asking friends and family members to subscribe to a page they made or a channel that they've made on YouTube because they want to try and get that initial boost to try and get more people to sub. I've never done that. I've never gone to a friend and asked them to subscribe. I've never gone to a friend and asked them to follow a page. I don't even really talk too much about what I do on YouTube on my public Facebook. It's every once in a while. I think the last time that I really talked about it, there's 2 times that I can remember in the past year, honestly. One was when Humble followed me on Instagram. That was a big deal for me. And the other thing that really got me was or it didn't really get me. I just put it out there, like in December when I was at right like a hair under 6,000 subscribers. I mentioned it. So every once in a while it comes up in personal stuff, but most of the time, friends and family and all that shit, like if they don't know me close, they don't even know that I do this shit. So and so when the other day I fucking popped off and I got upset because people keep asking me stupid questions about the K28-3. I'm just like, dude, like why the especially some of the people who've watched long term, it's really frustrating. Like, do you not? It's whatever. I said what I said already. If you saw it, you saw it. If not, whatever. But do I hesitate to post something like that because of fear of what somebody may think? Nah. I mean, like I said, it would suck if they decided that, hey, we can't fuck with you no more because of that. But at the end of the day, man, it is what it is. I am what I am, and I don't want to hide myself. This isn't a job. Like, this isn't a real job. I'm not a politician. Kenneth, bro. See, Kenny right here, this Kenny, Kenneth Pay, if you see him pop up on my Facebook, he's the example of a person that I really appreciate. Like, okay, so there's another guy besides this one dude I was talking about who's really fucking annoying on Facebook. And there's a new guy, I've never seen him, and all of a sudden he comes out and he's trying to, like, throw pointers at me. But the pointers he's trying to throw are really basic fucking shit. I'm like, so if you're coming out here trying to teach me really basic fucking shit, that's your tips. It seems to me like you're trying to piggyback my fucking page and my fucking subscribers to try and make yourself look like a smart guy. Fuck you. Fuck off. Get the fuck away from me with that shit. I hate that, man. I hate these motherfuckers who come out there with real basic information like they're trying to give you some fucking knowledge there. Like, shut up, dude. I didn't put this out there for you to fucking try and give me input. I'm not. There are some channels out there with dudes out there who do not know what the fuck they're doing, but they got a whole gang of subscribers because everybody gets to throw in and try to be a mechanic on fucking YouTube and watch these guys fucking do their shit. I'm not that guy. Now, yes, I don't even really feel that I'm a teacher. I'm just trying to inform you things either from my opinion or from things I've done, and then it's your choice whether you want to try that or not, or just like that. I just put it out there, and then you can choose whether. I'm not telling you you have to do it this way. I'm not telling you that that's the best way to do it or anything like that. I'm just saying, look, this is what I've done, or this is what I think about doing, and then try it or not. So, but when I have somebody else that clearly doesn't know much more than the basic shit coming and trying to tell me shit, it really drives me fucking nuts. Now, Kenny, like I was just saying, Kenneth Pay over here, this is the guy who knows, he knows some shit. And when you have a conversation with him, he doesn't come off as cocky. He doesn't try to come off as like, I know more than you. Like, for those people who you feel that way, you feel like you know so much, go out there and do your own thing, man. Don't fucking come around my shit trying to use it to boost yourself. Go make your own shit. There's a guy that you probably even know on YouTube because he pops up in comment section all everywhere. His guy, on YouTube, his name was S.I. Rico. The guy's blocked from commenting on my fucking channel. He has been for a long time now. Because he was just an argumentative kind of fucking cat that would come out and try to clown on shit. Like, dude, if you think you're so smart and you think you're so fucking great with what you're doing, go make your own thing. But this is the same guy later that came in my fucking DMs on Instagram asking for help. And I wasn't a dick about it. I gave him the information he was looking for, which he was completely off on with the way he was approaching me. And not, he was just asking, like, hey, man, my calculations are coming off a little weird. I just want you to double check. And I was like, well, the way he said it, I was trying to, I was like, well, this is how you get that measurement. And then I was like, wait a minute, what are you trying to do? And then when he told me, I was like, oh, that's completely wrong. And then I gave him the right way to do it. And I'm not saying that to try and rub it in his face, saying, throw shade at the guy. It's just like, that's the shit that frustrates me. These are the kind of people I'm talking about that I'm dealing with. Where you come out here and you're trying to fucking give me fucking pointers, but clearly you don't know what the fuck you're doing. And again, I'm not no fucking genius. I'm not saying that I'm a teacher. I'm an old head, been in the game for a long time. But I think that at this point, I know I'm very well versed in the basic shit. Fuck. So, can you see how that would be a little frustrating sometimes? So, yeah, and that's the things that sometimes brings out my fucking rudeness. And I hate to be rude. I hate to be confrontational. When I was at fucking work, it was at the beginning of the year, and they were looking at me for promotion to lead my shift. It was a small shift, and it was an overnight thing. They were like, well, the only thing that we're worried about you is that you seem like you don't like confrontation. I was like, yeah, I don't like confrontation because HR is dangerous, and I know how I get when I get upset. When I get upset, I fucking explode. If I tell you to do something, I'm going to tell you calmly and nicely the first couple of times. If you continue to not do what I'm asking you, I'm going to take that as a fuck you. And if you're saying fuck you to me, that gives me it makes me upset. And then I'm just going to go in. So that's why I try to avoid confrontation, and I try to avoid that too. But sometimes I bite my tongue so long and so fucking hard that I pop off, which is why I made that post, and I almost deleted it, man. I'm not gonna lie, because I started later on. I calmed down. It's the same way when I punish my kids. I like to punish my children like when it calls for it, quick and hard. Like you right there in the moment, you get it and you get it fucking hard. But then right afterward, we're cool again, and you go on your shit and everything's fine. I don't like to do long-term punishment like grounding and shit like that. I'm too soft. Like once I cool down, I'm not upset anymore. We're good. So So once I cooled down, I was like, damn, man, I went a little bit too hard on that post. I should probably fucking delete it. But then I've bitched so many times, like I'm not gonna hide what I've done. I'm not ashamed or scared of it. So I was like, it has to stay. I have to leave it up. I can't fucking delete it because then it's gonna make me look like a hypocrite. It's gonna make me look like a liar. I just said that I wasn't gonna hide what I've put out there, and here I am thinking about deleting it. But I wasn't thinking about deleting it because I was worried about what anybody's gonna think about it or say or anything like that. I was just gonna delete it because I wasn't upset anymore. So, despite me coming off as a prick sometimes, it's not the way I normally am. I'm not normally a confrontational person. I don't like to be aggravated and angry with people, but it's just like there will always be. I understand there will always be, and I don't have a PR person. Goddammit, I don't have a goddamn customer representative. If I ever get to the point where I want to be at, and I have a shop or whatever, I won't directly deal with you guys anymore. I'm gonna have a fucking receptionist that's gonna talk to you people for me and filter all the bullshit questions, because I can't imagine having like being not like being in the realm of humble performance or any of these decent shops up there, like being up there where you got that kind of people just fucking like hitting you up every day. I couldn't imagine dealing with that personally. Plus, I wouldn't imagine I'd really get any work done. Okay, so I'm creeping up on 18 minutes, and I think I already ran for 10 before the stream got interrupted. So I'm gonna wrap it up because not really a lot of conversation here. So I will end it with this saying this, like I said before, also a bunch of times. If you're new here, and you want to ask me a question, if you DM me asking me, hey bro, I got a question, I'm gonna ignore you. I don't like giving grown men permission to talk to me. Just ask whatever you're gonna ask. Be patient. Ask everything you're gonna ask in full, and be patient. Wait for me to get back on my time. You didn't really miss much, Chuck. I am about to wrap it up. Uh, Mike, that's awesome. Feel free to DM me, videos or whatnot, dino footage. When for yeah, here I'll throw that out there real quick. For you guys that actually have used the channel and you feel like you can, say that, hey, your channel has helped me do, and you got whatever your build is, even if it's stock single cam. Feel free to DM me, throw me a video or whatnot, and I'll even, like, if it's something I feel it's compelling to, I'll make a video on it. Like if you're sitting on an LSV that's making 500 wheel horsepower, man, I definitely want to hear about that. Send me some dyno footage or whatnot, and I'll make a video for you, and I'll give you a big shout out. I can't guarantee how many people to reach, but whatever. None. I don't think that you should mod anything without turboing. I've talked about that. I've talked about that in the video. The video is when should you tune? Go look for that. It's real quick and to the point. Okay, so fuck. There was one more thing I was gonna say. Oh, about selling stuff. Yeah, man. Yeah, Mike, for sure. DM me whatever fucking social media platform you prefer to use. Hit me up, and I'll talk to you real quick, and then we'll see about doing that, putting that together, and we'll get the details out in the DMs, and we'll talk about that a little bit more. But for sure, I'll make a video on that. Also, for like parts, I've said a bunch of times that I'm working towards building a parts store. Eventually, I want to have a storefront where you can walk in and buy parts. Like I want to, and it's gonna be for the initial launch. If I ever get to that point, will be for exclusively for engine parts, engine part kits, pistons, rods, whether it's used, new, gaskets, whether it's budget or quality, the best quality, shit like that. I want to be able to provide. I want you to be able to call. I want you guys to be able to call me up or come by and, hey, this is what I want, and I can get you a kit or I can get you individual parts, stuff like that. That's the dream. All right. As far as the thing is right now, I have a big hoarding problem. I have a very big problem where I don't want to let my shit go. Every time I get a new engine, I'm like, fuck, I want to keep this. I might be able to use it. That's my problem. Like the Z3 right now I'm sitting on, or I'm sitting on it, but I have a problem with that. I'm like, I kind of want to keep it. Like, fuck, I don't want to sell it. But the original plan when I bought it was to sell it. And now I'm thinking about keeping the shit. So yeah, so right now I do not sell crankshafts, I do not sell performance heads, and I do not sell pistons, and I do not sell rods that are forged. Forged pistons, forged rods. I do not sell those individually. They mean too much to me in a fucking in an engine build for me to sell individually. The money is not justified for me to sell it. And I missed a fucking comment there, and this phone is being retarded. Like I'm not wanting me to. There we go. There we go. Marty, I can't help you out there, man. I've talked about that too many times about those JDM shops. Those guys charge a lot of money. Yeah, well, Chad, hoarding wouldn't be a problem for me if I had the better living space. I don't. That's my problem. I got no problem with hoarding. Hoarding in general is fine with me when it comes to parts. I just don't have a place to put my shit. Okay, so yeah. All right, so that's everything I wanted to say right now. So like. Oh, if you're really interested in buying something from me that I already have, then just go to Instagram. If I'm planning on selling something, I'll say, hey, it's for selling at this much. I'll list it there. So go through my Instagram, look at pictures, and if you see something that you might be interested in, say, just look. It'll be there, whether it's for sale or not. It'll be listed in that option. Yeah, well, I appreciate it, Mike. I appreciate you popping in there, man. It's good to see you too. Yeah, so, you guys see recently that I got a second K24, I have the issue with the main caps coming off, and then, like, my thing is right now, the only engine I have to rob for the main caps would be the K28-3 outside, so I got to take apart another engine, and I kind of hope it's fucked up, so that way if I'm pillaging from it, I'm not, wasting a good block That's my problem right now. So here's my issue. Now I have two K28 3s, right? Or I have one K20 Z3 that's ready. I could reassemble that whole block, and that could be, good to go. And then I have the K24, and I have one I need to overboard to use for the NA build, and then I have the one that I bought with the intentions to build for turbo. Now I'm trying to use the K24 for boost because I'm going to do stock boost on pump, and I want the extra displacement for not only the torque advantage, but because I'm trying to use all the extra perks I have to make as close to 500 or 500 I can on the pump. I have two K24s. One's gonna be NA 100% for sure, and the other's gonna be turbo. But now my problem is I have to rob another engine block to get the mains for it, and I guess it really just depends on the quality of the K28 3 out there that I have. I take it apart. If it's kind of fucked, if the sleeves are fucked up like a lot of the other ones I had are, then I have no problems with yanking the main caps off of it and using it for my K24. But if it's a fucking cherry ass engine, I still have K28 pistons that I could use to rebuild that with. So that could potentially be an engine block to sell. Now people aren't rushing to buy the first one, but I have no doubt that it'll sell eventually if I just be patient. And I just gotta push it a little bit more. Oh, so I don't know, man. Like I said that for sure I was gonna use a K24 to build for boost, but I might use the Z3. It might just be easier for me to keep the Z3. Like the thing is, I was gonna use the Z3 head for my built block, but I'm not gonna use that built block anytime soon. So, K20 A2s and Z3 heads sell for a couple $100. So I'm like, why would I hold it and wait out when I can just rebuild the Z3 and just use that long block, and I can stuff the K24, stash it, and then grab caps off of it when I can, and then rebuild that. But then that puts me at more projects that I have. Oh, the last thing, I keep saying the last thing, but there's more. So today I just got I just got the approval for the home loan to buy this fucking shithole, right? So there's that. So I gotta be careful with spending too much money on parts right now. I have we're going through the landlord right now. The landlord's already I've already talked about using our deposit for the down payment, but I might have to come up with a little bit more money. I'm not 100% sure, but I might, and I don't want to go into the hole. I have a good amount of money stashed on the side where I've been living very comfortably, and I don't want to lose that cushion. So I told my wife we're not going to be going out to eat on the weekends. We're going to chill on buying parts and stuff like that, and so that way we can stash a couple extra $1,000. Integrated exhaust. I think I want to say the Z3 comes with the RBC manifold. I'm not 100% sure though. I might be wrong. Yeah, stage one cams. I have talked about that before. I know that's gonna be hard to find me talking about that because I don't really talk about cams. But no, I've seen people use cams without tunes and it does give you a boost. But Tommy, go search in the YouTube search bar. VHB engines. When do I need to tune? It's like a 7-minute fucking video, dude. It answers all your questions that you've asked so far. Yeah, okay, so the idea would be too is like I have a guy that I know is a friend of mine. Like we're not friends, but we follow each other for a long time now. We've done business before, and I've seen him on his Instagram like add efficiencies or add chunks to his house for for rooms for rent. So the idea right now, plus my dad does houses and shit. So the idea would be to buy this house, use the money I'll save from mortgage to help to go towards building an extension, and the idea would be to immediately add a bedroom, and then after I add a bedroom, start doing something to where I can stash parts better. Maybe even build like a little workshop. So yeah, hopefully that'll be something I can do. Yeah, the K20 head is a very popular mod for the K24. Yeah, I would like to be able to get property, but I would have to move out of the city for that, man. Buying property in Miami-Dade or Broward is extremely expensive. Like now, I could go like a half an hour or an hour into the country or into the interior of the state and buy big property for a little money, but I'm not doing that. I need to be able to live on the land I'm paying for, and to me to go out and develop something, I don't have that kind of money. Hopefully in the next 5 or 6 years I'll have a bigger bankroll, but I don't have that right now. I have enough to live very comfortably in my situation. I don't have enough to be going and doing shit like that. I wish. If I had fucking money to buy a lot of land and stash cars and build a little workshop, I would 100% would do that. Oh, there you go. Somebody mentioned about the Z3. So Kodak, as in Kodak Black. I don't know. I don't know the guy like that. Not a big fan. I could say. So okay, so anyway, you guys got something that you want to talk about real quick, or I definitely want to do like an intro to port and polishing type deal. I think that I could definitely at least port match gaskets and shit like that. I don't see that being too much of a problem for me to do. I think that it would net a little bit of gains, but I just, the heads that I have to work on, the heads that I have to work on. It's just I have so much fucking shit going on right now that there's so many things I want to branch out into. But I don't have the space. I don't have the time. Which time is the worst thing ever. The SEMA trip is not planned yet, but I have talked to Jesse, and of course, well, I don't know if you saw it, but I put it out there. I think on Snapchat, and Instagram. Jesse, I commented on one of his pictures from last year's IBOC, and he's offered to fly me out on there. He said on us, to go out to Cali. So that right there leaves me very hopeful for the rest of the year. Like I had a very good trip. So for me to be able to go out to Maryland and to not even make the second trip yet, and I'm already getting that kind of that kind of feedback from Jesse. It makes me very hopeful for everything going forward in the next year. Now, the New Hampshire trip is coming up in 3 weeks. 3 weeks and a couple days. That New Hampshire Honda Day. Now, Jesse's for sure said he's going to be there. So when I get there and I meet Jesse, then we're going to talk about that a little bit more in person. Like once I'm in front of him, we actually have a conversation. Then I'll be able to hash out the SEMA trip a little bit more. Because yeah, he said he's gonna give me passes, but I don't know how that's gonna work out. And SEMA's far enough down the line where right now I'm still worried about the New Hampshire trip itself and about Tulsa, because I'm going to be going to Humble Performance in between Honda Day and SEMA. And for those of you who haven't heard me talk about that a couple times already, the target month for the Tulsa trip will be in August. I promised my wife a family vacation, doing some Universal or something like that, and I want to do that in July. So I need to leave enough time in between trips. I don't know, man, Chuck. I really don't know. As far as Vegas itself, the whole city strip, I as Florida trips. I don't know. I guess if somebody hit me up saying something's going on, and I have free time that's not going to interfere with anything, then I'll go to wherever, as long as it's not more than a 3-hour drive. Okay, so like I was saying about SEMA in Vegas, there's as far as Vegas goes, my only real appeal for Vegas, honestly, is the UFC. Like UFC headquarters is there, the PI is there. I don't know if they do open fucking like tours or whatnot, but I'd like to find out if they do. If they did, then the PI would be like the big thing that I really would like to see in person in Vegas. As far as the rest of it goes, I don't give a shit. I don't gamble because I don't play with my money like that. And so what there really is for me to do, yeah, UFC headquarters is there. I think UFC headquarters is actually in the Performance Institute. So as far as the show itself, I mean, like, what's the real big planning for that? I'll just get some shitty ass motel that's cheap for me to stay at, that's not too far away, or I guess I'll pay a couple $100 or whatever. I'm only gonna be there for the show itself. I don't really plan on staying beyond that. So it would be just fly into town, go to the show, go to the hotel, go to the show, and then go home. So I don't know. Like I said, Vegas doesn't hold really much appeal for me outside of the fight culture. And again, I'm open to whatever. So it just depends on when I meet Jesse in a couple weeks when we talk about SEMA. Like that's gonna be my planning. It's gonna be that day, and SEMA's not until what, November, the beginning of November. So it's still like half a year away. So I'm not tripping on it too much. And my only concern is the event. All right, man. Take care. Hoi. Oh, well, if it's so busy that I can't get a fucking ratty little motel, then I'll sleep in a car or I'll rent or some shit like that, dude. I really don't give a fuck. I'm not. This is way too far in advance for me to be spending money on that trip. What's that? A wise trap? Chiropractor. I've never gone to one. I probably could benefit from one. Jesus Christ, man. Bro, this computer sucks so much fucking dick. What a piece of shit. Well, I got my neck ring too. I'm on